Hi guys, and welcome back to Manny Centric. We are doing another one of the Beauty Big Bang gifted items videos, and I just wanted to show you guys how I put this item into one of my manis. Basically, it's like a shell adhesive strip. Like, it's not very expensive, but I've been really wanting to try it because I always see the little plastic pots with the little screw on top, and I always consider it and say that I'm going to do it. But since I don't use like gel nail polishes and I don't encapsulate, I'm always worried that I'm going to put one of these like embellishments on my nails and it's just going to fall off. So I wanted to test this out because it has its own adhesive on the back. So I started out with like a sheer pink from one of my little OPI mini sets. And then I believe that's slate blue by Luminous Lacquer because it just seemed like a soft enough bluish gray that it should be okay with a sheer blue. Also, I wasn't looking, sorry, with a sheer pink. Also, I was looking for something that wouldn't clash too much with the shell because I picked out the darker color because I knew we were going into the winter months. So I felt like this would be a good option. And then I wanted to do a gradient because I had been seeing like pink and blue gradients and I wasn't sure how they worked, but they're so pretty that I wanted to try one. So now I'm just applying the nail polish to my sponge, and I'm going to be releasing like a little video on um, pretty much just nail art tool must-haves, things that I have in my particular set that I just can't do without. And it's going to be like pretty much barring all of the stamping stuff, but things that I just can't live without. And one of the things that I'm also using is like one of the China Glaze OMG little mini gift sets. There's like a blue hollow in there, and I was thinking that that would look pretty nice on the tip because it's a little bit darker than the slate blue, but also a little shimmery. I don't think that it made that much difference in my overall mani, but I wanted to try it. And then with my gradients, I usually do those dabs about 5 times before I've got the opacity that I want, and then a clear coat of polish to smooth it all in and make it cohesive. So now, guys, I'm showing you the shell. It comes in a full sheet. I cut a strip because I knew I was going to be doing little pieces and I didn't see the point of trying to maneuver a big piece. So there is some adhesive backing on it, and this is a little bit on the coarse side. So I used cuticle nippers to pretty much cut those because I felt like it would be a whole lot easier than me trying not to. And then these are my Beauty Big Bang teeny tiny tip tweezers. And I love these. They were not gifted to me. And then I'm using them to do some of my placing of the shell on my nail because I was afraid that like the oils from my fingers might affect its adhesion, so I really just didn't want to do too much touching it bare hands. Which now it makes a lot of sense why a lot of people wear gloves while they're doing nail designs. But yeah, so now I'm just cutting off more little pieces of that strip. So I'm already coming to the conclusion that this is going to go a long way because I use like little pieces. So, and that's all of this whole look was done off of like maybe 1 or 2 strips that I cut. off of that whole sheet. So I'm really excited about that. And by the end, I'll tell you guys, how it was, like, as far as did stay on, or was I picking little pieces of shell embellishment out of my food. So the only thing that was hard for me was I'm not used to like cutting my own shards. So that was a little, I was a little awkward, but you catch up pretty quickly and you try not to put it on any surfaces of your nails that are particularly like uneven. Like putting it right there on my ring finger probably wasn't the best idea, but I was just exploring options. And then after I got all of them placed the way I wanted to, I had another, not stroke of genius, but I could have sworn I saw it somewhere. So I'm pressing them down again just to make sure that they're really, 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 really there. And since that one's just a little bit longer than my actual finger, I think I'm going to end up cutting off some of that just so that it'll be able to stick. But I showed you guys the Believe Beauty because now I'm going to go ahead and just put a top coat over all of it. I don't know that this is the way it's supposed to be done, but this is the way that I'm doing it. And I like it because it's actually bringing out the shine even a little bit more than I had anticipated. Yep, and there go the cuticle nippers because I couldn't. I was pretty sure that that was going to compromise the shell's ability to stay adhered to my nail because it was like a little jagged edge sticking off. So just be aware of that. And sorry guys, I know this is going to be like a long video, but this was a very involved process for me, especially since it was my first time trying to use it. But now that I've got that little jagged edge pulled off, yay! Celebrating. By the way, this is a great time for me to say, for all of my subscribers that are continuously coming back, watching my videos, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence and your comments and your feedback. I thought this was going to be my final look, and then I thought about it and I was like, I've seen sparkles and flakies before on this. So now I'm adding some sparkles and flakies that I also got from Beauty Big Bang. However, I did not get this as a gift. I paid for the sparkle silver stuff. But like I was saying, love you guys, my subscribers, my friends, my Instagram friends, all my peeps who love nail polish and nail art, and even those of you who I've met that are new to my circle of friends, and you're just like a creative sort or a cooking sort, or you're just hanging out on YouTube, sharing your life with us. I love you guys. I just wanted to say that. I know it's really mushy and I'll stop. But I wanted to also say that if you're new to my channel, I really appreciate you stopping by just to watch me play with my nails, because this is what makes me feel good. It's like my therapy, that one thing in life that you have absolute control over. So now I'm just using those tiny tip tweezers to place the flakies where I want them, because I wanted them to be random at first, and then I was like, no, there are specific places where I think I could use some flaky on my nail. So now I'm placing them specifically. And once I feel like I filled enough space, I don't know why I felt like my nail was just like bare. I think in the future with the shells, I'm going to try putting them in just like a strip. Like probably not horizontal because there's too much curve in my nail bed, but maybe a vertical strip. I think that that would look very cute. I'm also thinking about maybe just like put it on the tip of my nail, like just one little rectangle of it, and maybe like a rhinestone on either end. We'll see. because I really found that I liked this look. I liked the way it looked against the gradient background. But yeah, now it's just clean up those edges. And I think I did, yeah, I did another top coat. And as you can see here, I'm struggling with the flaky, trying to remove it off of my cuticle. Like, I'm just breaking down and I'm like, I don't even care about the brush anymore. I may have to just use my nail. Because I've got acetone on the brush and it's just not, it can't help me. Oh no, the brush is dry. Because I sure as heck wouldn't have put acetone on my nails after I had did them. And excuse the dry cuticles. I have this thing about I can't have really oily cuticles while I'm trying to do my nails. I'm absolutely afraid that it will affect the adhesion of everything that I'm trying to do on my nail. Even though it probably won't. And sometimes with nail polish, when it gets on your sidewalls, it's a lot more forgiving if your cuticles are moisturized, but it's so deeply ingrained in me that now I just can't. I have a hard time having my cuticles moisturized and starting a manicure at the same time. But I liked it better with the flakies. I needed it to be a little bit extra. So for everybody who doesn't need the flakies, I'm sorry guys. I apologize. But it felt too, my ring finger is usually the one that is the star, and it didn't feel like a star yet. So now I'm happy, and I'm gonna do one more nail in a shell design. Basically all I did was take that one strip, cut up the rest of the pieces, stick it to my nail, but only on one side. And then instead of the flakies to accent it, I put on a piece of striping tape. And I feel like it's crooked, but I think you guys get the concept of what I was trying to do. And this here is like the final look, and I'm absolutely in love with it. As far as reviewing the actual product, I wanted you guys to know it stayed on hardcore. Like, I washed dishes and it stayed on. I washed my hair and I didn't pull out chunks and strands with the shell. So I just wanted you guys to know, heads up, this is pretty good at sticking. So definitely item that I would invest in, especially because it's very inexpensive. And I'll go ahead and put the SKU down below, as well as a link to the website for you guys. And don't forget to use my code if you grab it to get 10% off. And then I get like a little commission because I can put that money towards buying more stuff. So as you guys can see, that's the final look. Totally pleased with it. I'm going to post these pictures on Instagram, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please consider subscribing.